yeah, it's like peace is just this like, again, it's just a scapegoat, you know. It's like people are using this like this limerent object, you know, where they can pour all of their hopes and dreams into this like thing that's not existing, but it's something they can aim at, and they can be like, that's what we want, you know. The grass is always greener effect. Did he really tweet out something like the next person who drops him a bomb is gay or something? I saw something like that. I was like, is that fake? Why do we gotta police it? I mean, we hopefully did the damage to whatever it was that they were worried about, and then we can just like be in and out. And if it were so easy, that would be the ideal, but it's never that easy. Or the things pull them back in, entities, if you will, military industrial complex entities. Homeless veterans. Well, I don't think veterans is a really thing that happens in Japan because they can't have they only have a defense force. They can't be offensive, you know. No, maybe to like disarm mines and shit like that. I think that was one thing that made like an international scandal or like a national Japan scandal because they were sending the defense force to like take out like disarm landmines somewhere, and they're like, that's not in Japanese territory, how dare you, that's breaching the extent but it was like to disarm, you know. They weren't doing any offensive thing, and then it was like arguable like, well, you're still helping the allies by disarming blah 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 blah. So yeah, they're really anti-offensive after World War II. It's like in their constitution they can't. That's why we have like bases in Yokosuka and Okinawa and whatnot, because without us defending them, they can't be offensive. You know, they can only take whatever North Korea or whatever shoots at them and just be like, what do we do now? You know, because we cut off the head of that beast because they were training kids to like, you know, self detonate back then. The ninja schools. I mean, well, they have those like those villages you can visit. Like I've been to a few. Like I think I shared the story about the ninja star I got by winning at the Ninja Village place or whatever. Their little games that they had. But yeah, they have yeah, they have towns that still exist, but I don't know how actively used they are. For what? The ninjas? Go ninja, go ninja, go. You had that. Yeah. Yeah, the majority of Japanese don't really know any of the. It'd be like Americans, like you ask them about like where certain states are in America, like they don't even know like what the name of the state is, let alone the capital, like that type of thing. So like the same thing goes because humans are humans. Like the general populace doesn't know where these like no name shrines, like I was telling you, like that one where you can curse people or whatever. Like nobody knows about that. So like the fact that I know about it is really random. Like nobody should know about that. But I just happen to know this monk who like lived at the biggest shrine for a year. So and he came to my wedding. So it's like I knew this guy who made reports about any question I asked. So he would just be, I'll be like, hey, is there like, yeah, like if you just want to curse someone, there's like a shrine for that. And they'll like do it seriously, like they'll have like a person like they have these dancers called that are girls, they're it's by tradition called miko-sans, and then the miko-san will like they'll take your donation and then they'll like dance with intention to curse that person and stuff. Yeah. I don't know I never went there, but I like asked him about it. I was like, what that would be, or she doesn't know what's happening because it's in Japanese. It's a blessing. It's just a blessing. Why are they putting pig's blood on my forehead? Why are they spitting on me? What's this about? They're lighting a fire and they're burning an effigy. Yeah, it's but it was like, yeah, they have like if somebody wants to pass a test, they have like a test passing shrine. If you want to have one, it's like the Greek god. You have like like what is it? The goddess of love. What's her name? Damn, I can't. Aphrodite, there you go. And then you got like the goddess of victory, like Nike, and you got like, her, you got Zeus and you got Ares, you got all these different gods. It's literally like that. Like their religion is like you got a god for everything. Yeah, I've always kept it where it's located if I ever needed to go there, but I've never had a urge. They have like in Osaka, they have a god for like money, and it's like you go and touch supposedly the feet are lucky for that god, so you go to that person, that god statue and that idol and rub its feet. Billy Ken is the name if you want to check it out. Billy Ken in Osaka. Yeah, literally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll take hours to go rub his feet. Billy Ken. It has like a sinister smile. Oh, here, I'll share a link. Copy clean link. There we go. This god of happiness became Osaka's quirky idol. Billiken. They probably just sit and eat rice all day. What was that? Cats are weird. Like my cat comes up to me like super needy, but then will bite you like after you pet it. It's like, no, not good enough. Unacceptable. And I'm like, you're the one that came to me. Go away. Well, she'll get like feisty about it. Like, no, I don't like that petting. You gotta like, she'll just bite. Like, especially if I leave my door open here while I'm trading. She like, if I'm focusing on the trading, she'll like try to interrupt my focus. I'm like, what the heck's your problem? I just won't let her in generally. It is a girl cat. You got a point. Yeah, my when I had a dude cat, he just chilled on my bed and he was more chill. The girl cat wants to like sit on my lap and it's like, dude, enough. Like, you don't pay attention to me. So do we have anything? We had like Canadian CPI, but that didn't really do anything, right? Because it's Canada. Maple Leaves stock went down. In Japan, they have like a changing leaves season. Like they go out and watch the leaves change color, and it was so weird because they you could go see the maple leaves change, the Japanese maples change color, and then you could eat like deep fried maple leaves while you watch the maple leaves. I'm like, it's so like, doubling down with what you're doing. Like, but they'll have like a season in autumn, and then they have like they go watch the changing leaves. It's a whole seasonal thing. But yeah, it's like a time frame. Like you have to go there during a certain weekend or two when it's peaking, and then you can go walk around the parks and stuff. Yeah, and then it's like super touristy at that time. But in America, like we got trees all over the place, so it's kind of like it's more of a nuisance because it means you got to like rake up the leaves. But they don't like their nature. It's weird. Like they compartmentalize everything. So like you think of a Japanese Zen garden, like it's in this one area only. So like the leaves changing color is in this one natural area only, but you don't see that in your daily life. So everyone like makes it an excursion to go see that because they don't see it normally, kind of thing. Whereas in America, you just drive around and see maples as you're going to work. Oh, like kind of like their school hats or something. Is a blue bonnet like a type? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me just type it. Texan blue bonnet. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was thinking like a hat for some reason because a bonnet is like a. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Looks good. Looks like it'd be worth it, but yeah, it was like, for example, I remember when I was a kid, I don't know if it's still the case in America, but where I lived in DC, like they had uh, fireflies, like just outside my house in my backyard, you could go catch fireflies. But here, like the water's not clean enough unless you go out to the country. So they have like a firefly spot, but you won't see fireflies anywhere else, kind of thing. So it's kind of like they've, yeah, cordoned them off. Right. They've like isolated them to this one area because they need really fresh water in order to thrive, apparently. But like no pollutants or anything. So, yeah. You ever watch those police videos where the police step out of line, where they like, accost somebody? Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw this one where this guy had like a cane. I don't know the name of the channel, but this guy who goes over the laws and different things and and pauses it and is like, actually, this officer is out of line, blah 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 blah, something like that. Like it has, yeah, tons and tons. It took a while. I was uh twiddling my thumbs, but I wasn't in any rush. But I just left him alone, and then yeah, like I got tired of it, like waiting, because I waited like a week to be honest with you, and then like I just started trading it again because I was like, I can't wait. I need to at least just put a day in for the next time or something, and then I had a positive day, and then that was the day it approved. So, but yeah, I had more than enough threshold, so I wasn't like risking getting rejected or anything. I couldn't trade it for a week, basically. Yeah, it was that was the first time. But I mean, in all honesty, I did have like a day where you remember that time like a week or two ago where my ATM messed up. I was in profit, but my ATM messed up and I had to like disconnect and reconnect and then I had to forcibly close the trade. But I was like, man, thankfully that went in my favor or whatever. Like, but there was a time like it totally screwed up and it like locked up my Ninja Trader. And that was the day where it was like, it was super volatile or something. And yeah, so I like, thankfully, I didn't have to explain myself. Like I've heard those stories where people have to like video record and talk about their strategy and stuff like that. I was like, I'm glad I don't have to do anything like that. But Bookmap had a new thing that they sent me an email about from the Lifetime saying that they have a new beta thing that'll like give you like X amount of years of past data if you want it, kind of thing. I don't know if yeah. Gotcha, gotcha. I see. Yeah, that would be because it's dealing with trades inside of candles that are time based. Yeah, I don't know how you would do that because tick is all about trade. So how does it like? Yeah, that would be a lot to compartmentalize from the past. Bonnie Blue, who's that? Oh, that one. Does doesn't she worry about like, problems afterwards, to put it mildly, or just like having like a rotten cooch or whatever? She got banned for that? They're just like, hold the phone. What the heck are you thinking? You can only do anal. I remember back in the early days of the internet, my friend and I would try to outgross each other out, and he would send. He sent me this one, and I was like, "All right, man, I'm out." Like, it was like a protracted whatever. Um, I don't need to go into detail, but it was disgusting. But apparently, that person was famous for that. I didn't even know a butt could do something that gross. Basically, invert itself like a jellyfish. I am. But I have zero concurrent viewers, so I don't think it matters. It's more to record my trades and see what, you know, I was seeing in the moment, what it was right about it, what was wrong about it. I think you can say butt, and I could think can say inverted like a jellyfish, but putting those two together, inverted like it. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. Or meat spin or whatever. The early days of the internet when you could like what is it, Rick roll people with that stuff. All right, so what's the story with us holding this range exactly? What is going on? Yes, looks very similar to NQ. Do you have resting liquidity above or below? Got 309 contracts up at 61.35. But you have that other orders kind of spoofing it down below. There's a laddered price. Hmm. Boom, 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 boom. What does? Yeah, it's that pre-market just stagnation. I mean, we're Doritoing basically. Yesterday was pretty good. They're just getting them all in. Like, yeah, it's interesting how everyone just stopped talking about tariffs, though. The amnesia of people. I mean, I guess it's like you can only keep so many things in your brain at once, but that didn't really disappear. It's just maybe they'll circle back to it. Right, that too. Yeah. Oh wow. Nice little movement there. Just went and grabbed like 424 in buy side real quick, just like it was nothing. We're 4K on the session for aggressive buyers. Are you using Tradeovate or Rhythmic for Apex? Yeah, I do that too. Heroes. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Today's Tuesday, so the expression for the week should be Tuesday, Wednesday, theoretically. So Monday, what? If you look at that as a false move, then we're going to go. Nice. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Catch you laters. Well, if you guys want to hop in and see some of the ATOS footprint action, you can click the link in the profile and check it out. If we can keep the concurrent viewers up, maybe we can do another eval again. We got 10 minutes to the open. Do we have any volume in this area? This is basically from today. What is that? The 23rd? Okay. Uh-huh. $6.20. Okay. 8 minutes. Mm-mm-mm. So you got those 384 resting orders at 61.35 on ES, and yeah. Thank you. Just has, it's hard to say. They got a 50 lot at 312. Getting the 5-minute before open jitters. Not very clear where we're at. We're gonna play with some evals first, let's just see how it goes. What's up? Like the name, I love music. And deedly doody. 300, so we're like playing around the 300s. So if we go above London's high and then come back under this high, then I would say that's kind of like a point of interest for a short. And more notably, let's just see if we go up that far above it. We're already kind of meandering down in this London low. We've kind of broken the low and just kind of flirting with holding it, but not really. Cloud looks kind of bearish on this 10-minute. Till it holds above it. All right, 3 minutes. Let's go look at the quantum level events here. Two minutes. Pulling back into some sell side, 160 sellers. Let me just make sure there's proper Replikanto linkage here so I'm not doing anything. Okay. Just evals, alright. And less than a minute. There we go. We are off to see the wizard, the market wizard of Oz. $88 buyers stepped up at 278. $99 they added. They could use that as fuel if it goes below the 278s with the Russian, but I'm just waiting to see where this goes from here. I'll take it. eval anyway. It needs to go below 278. It's not doing it. They added 150 more there. There was 150 more buyers up at the 291s. Buyers in control. Well, those evals were toast. All right, time to switch. Taking this on a actual funded now on the short, back above below these circled buyers. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice an eval or two to get the win. And here we go. This is on top step. We already locked in the day on the first contract. The runner's probably gonna get stopped here, but whatever. It's 420. So the top step is locked in. Let's switch. And we're gonna come back above this again, flirting with this breakdown. Essentially staying inside the range of this pre-market zone. Let's see where we at. Just a Darth Maul in both directions so far. Yes, potentially wanting to go up to that 6135, 361 lot if it breaks above the range that it's in. So far, those buyers are not getting punished at 291 and 22278. Bounce off of the comma to break above the range on ES as well, maybe to the upside. Who knows? It's kind of jittery here. We took it on Apex paid. Let's see if it pays. We'll see. Hide. No? Or not? You're gonna jitter. Follow through. It's a little. There we go. Runner paid. One peeled off. Runner at break even. If it pulls back, I'm out. And stopped. Huh. There's a little one. Little mini scalp. $200. Just need to put in the qualifying days, you know. I'm not trying to be like super egregious or anything. And if it comes back below 291 and 278, you could see some buyer absorption to the downside. A theory is only true until it isn't. So using those as inflection points could be a nice consideration. Coming below 291 now. Holding the 291s. ES aiming at that 61.35. The longs look to still be strong. Basically, ES is pushing up out of this little range while NQ is still holding inside of this region. A little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of choppiness going on. So yeah, ES looks like it wants to sweep the highs. And similarly with NQ coming to that London high. So I would be looking to see it sweep that 384, 404-ish range here. At this point, you've broken the pre-market range, hitting about 400 in buy side with those last 4,000 trades. My volume, I'm sorry, I'm talking lower here. I just turned up my volume. Can you hear me better? Booyah. Test 1 2. How's that? Testing. Better? Okay, so we're coming up on 200 contracts of buy side. Pushing into the value area high and possibly sweeping the London highs. ES also has that. I can't change the the contrast. My kbps is all I can, a bit I can offer. Sorry. The prices. You want me to like zoom in or something like this? I can't change the way I actually view it myself, or it'll take me out of the zone or whatever. But there's a clearer version of the price over here on the left. Are you talking about Bookmap? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, if I change like screens like this, like if I zoom into this and then zoom back to that, like having to render both through the internet is gonna probably make a clarity issue. We had a money bag, Chaikin money flow divergence on the quantum level. Came back to that volume imbalance. Ah, yeah, doing auto is also an issue. Yeah, that 6135 on ES looks like they're set on getting it because it's a resting order that's been there for some time. How far back has it been there? Essentially since the London. So it wants to go up to the London pre-market zone by the looks of it. Here we go. The middle screen, okay. We're hitting 300 in buy side here. You can see down in the bottom left the delta. This is what I'm looking at too. I can't add all these numbers in my head that quickly, although I'm not that bad at it, but it does say down here 271 in delta. So this 2000 trade, 2000 tick candle is 271 delta. So it pushed up on it created 159 sellers and then pushed up and turned them into buyers. And so it's like with every seller slingshot it creates, it pushes up into a delta, positive delta, and you're 4,000 delta on the session. So the buyers are currently in control, as indicated by also the circled buyers that I took for a little bit of a scalp when it faded them, but also took the pop. I took both sides to show that it's all about the inflection point of those guys. And you could have gotten that retest of those guys over here, and it would have had zero drawdown at the 91s, and boom, bounced off of them as the buyers were in control. So currently the buyers are in control. And the target for ES is 61.35 for the interim, because you got 340 contracts up there just chilling. I sound like a robot? Oh man, this thing, I don't understand. Hopefully. Did it fix it? I just reset the audio. Like, Wavelink from Elgato had like an update in April, and ever since then it's messed up my streams. Like, I never had that problem before, and then now I have to go in and like change the audio effects and reset it or something. I don't get it. Lame. Yeah. Sorry about that. They also made these third-party like effects that I put on like invalid, basically, because they want you to use theirs, which is irritating because I paid money for those effects. So the interesting part about volume is you see it hits these blue guys as it goes up, and so counter to what you think, like it induces sellers on the way down and then turns them into buyers, and buyers buy the tops kind of thing. And then it fades those buyers and turns them into sell side to test if there were any like minis players up here, and then so generally if I'm like in a long, the more buy side I see hit, the less confident I am in it going further up. And conversely, if I'm short, like I want to see no sellers on the way down, and then when it hits a big pool, then I'm out kind of thing. It's all a game of whack-a-mole. From buy side to sell side to buy side to sell side, and the buyers buy the tops and the sellers sell the bottoms. Where's the point of control? You'll see it here on this. Here, I'll move a toss out here. See? In the center screen, you'll see the volume point of control. Always on the left side. Then also here on the left side, it's here too. So we're currently at, it's at 299.75. But it's kind of this wide node. So it's anywhere inside of this range that we burst out of and are now retesting for the second time. Yeah, no problem. So I have it like, think of it, the center as like zoomed out, Like this is everything zoomed out, and then this left side is like hyper zoomed in. So you'll see the volume point of control nearby, and you don't need to worry about it over here as much. It'll be on the left kind of in context, so you can see where the value area high and the value area low is. And then it puts those volume imbalances in the Bollinger Band and all that stuff. So we recovered a little bit of this gap on the London down. Did we even come up to the value area high? So we kind of came up. Yo, what's up? So we hit 220, 158, 177. So we hit about 500 in sell side there with that drop down to 289. Mm-hmm. This looks like it could continue to the downside. I'm chilling because I already got a day traded. I'm not really trying to hit like home runs. I'm just hitting base hits daily, but I'll just turn this off because I don't like the red of my evals there. But yeah. It depends, like if it jitters up a little bit and gets a little bit of buyer absorption potential, then you could see a seller fade here. So like you're getting some blue here, and if you don't get follow through on this blue, this could be like a little bit of a buyer absorption potential. Although they hit a pretty nice amount of sell side already, but if there's that 3K on the session they want to pull back into a little bit more deeply to test the lows again, there's a lot more waiting down below the lows. They already swept up into here. Yo, what's up? I sacrificed a few evals in the beginning and then because I had them linked, but yeah, then the sacrificial lambs paid, so the blood of the evals paid the paids. But it's kind of like jittering around right now. I think it's going to absorb these buyers and go a little bit lower, but I'm not taking anything because I don't want to give anything back. If it gives me something, I'm blessed by that, and that's enough. And I just want to put in qualifying days, you know. You do enough of those, and then you're like, look at me, Ma, I'm at payout. Yep, they're absorbing the buyers that are circled here at 301. If it comes below the point of control at 290. Although it's not really following through. Let's see, where are we at? We're coming back to the cloud here. We're at the turn of the hour in 3 minutes, so I would also be careful. The algos take over. They pass the baton like in a relay from London to New York, and they're like, here, you guys handle it. There we speak of the devil. Ooh, aggression. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah. News. What's the news in 3? Oh. We got Powell testifying in... Wait, but that's from 11? And then you have consumer confidence in 2 minutes? Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Just hit about 332 in sell side. We pushed up on 343 and then pushed down on 332. So just algorithms burping at the change of the guard. But coming below some buyers. And the 300s. Volume point of control changed to 300 now. The algos, you could see how the order book drops when the hour change happens. Like it's dead now. It's like, I don't want to be a part of this, and all the algos shut off. You can see how ghost town it is now. Yeah. Was yes for news. It weakens every time it hits, apparently. Bitcoin's one of those things where it does like every 4th time. The 4th time is where it like does its thing or whatever. So people looking for like triple tops, they're like, here, psych, fourth top. Yeah, there's a lot of volume in here. Like it's a lot of noise. I'm not seeing so much clarity here. But we just came off the VWAP, 283. Essentially, you've just been chopping around in here. We haven't really changed from open. It's just barcode. Confidence went down. I see. So at any point in the next 15 to 30 minutes plus, they could be starting to like say their keywords that do stuff. So you're getting a lot of jitters up on ES that are like hitting 500 lots here and 440 lots here. You're getting some buyer absorption as we kind of make our way to the downside. It looks like it's getting heavy. Same with NQ, kind of. You're hitting 100 lots, 98 lots. Right. It's pretty gross. I mean, it looks really gross. I don't even know how I managed to. I mean, I do, but at the same time, I'm like, this. Looking back on it, I'm like, what is this? All right, so you had 51 sellers and 67 sellers hit at 22293. Are the sellers stepping up to the plate here? Gonna make themselves a little bit known? Or are they gonna be punished? That is the question. Reward or punish? 63 buyer entered at 297. Could be a tight stop on that 69 seller. Consensus was last was 98. I didn't trade today. I traded Asia last one. Nice. That's why if you can, you know, like the trending day yesterday. Also, sometimes after a trending day, they just like hold the range, and then like people that missed out on that, like, you know, tilt on the day, they can't catch that kind of thing. That's why I took the evals first, because I was like, yesterday was a little bit too easy, so I'm gonna take this a little bit more safe. All right, 293 is the seller reward starting point. Just holding the You're not really getting follow through on the Wanda. What's this? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been 5 hours in this range. Yeah, for sure. Definitely been there, though. We hit 74, 81, and 60 buyers up in the 307 to 305 range. So that's like, what, 200 plus contracts turned into buyers here. So you could see a follow through to test the sellers off that. It was a positive delta too. So it's like, you know, they're building up this positive delta to drop it. Oh, snap. As I say that, 757 seller hit there. Crazy. Interesting inflection points. And that just swept a lot of buyers off the table there. We were getting that buyer absorption with each push up. $715, that's a lot. They just gobbled up there. Yeah. I gotta do some arms workout before bed, so I'm gonna, at the half of the hour, I'm gonna head out. But all right, catch you later, Dave. I'll be with you guys for another 15 minutes. If you want to comment on yesterday's video and we can get the concurrence to like 10 again, I can do another eval. Giveaway. Eval giveaways. Let's do it. Learn a little bit about order flow. So the interesting thing I was seeing here was we had these sellers, and then so I saw a significant pool of sellers hit, right? And then it was right off the volume point of control. I was like, okay, theory, if it goes below these guys, it'll start rewarding them. Until then, it's not a short. And then it pushes up, hits these buyers for 200 whatever, and I was like, you could get this buyer absorption that's like 300 250, you know, buyers. So it could, if it comes back to start rewarding these guys that I initially circled, you could see a short, and then it was like boom, and then it dropped down. And then if you just grab that from 22,293 all the way down to 22,267, that's like, I don't know, like 40 points or something. Can't ask for more than that, you know, as a clean read. And then it's like you rinse and repeat those things over and over again. It's just like I had that same thing in the open, and that's what I took when I faded them down here. Took a little bit of a short, and then when it came back and rewarded them, and I was like, okay, then I guess it's long, and then I took it long. So it's like you create these inflection points that you look at for confirmation of a theory of somebody who's having confidence in one way or the other. And then whoever has that confidence, whether they're getting rewarded for that confidence or punished for that confidence. And then if they start to get punished, then this person gets rewarded here. So then, all right, I'll get on sides with the person who gets rewarded as this person's getting punished, and boom. And then you don't have to risk any drawdown, really. It's like you're riding the momentum of it, you know. That's why I initially called my system here the Momentum Master, because it was like I was into like momentum trading. But then there was something else missing with the like footprints and whatnot. So I wanted to like circle the square by, you know, I had this volumetric cloud that I created, and then I was like, well, why does it come back above this cloud? Like, what's happening in here with the volume, you know? Let's just keep going deeper and deeper with it. Deeper and deeper into the abyss of price action. That is fascinating. And then you start to see it as this like draw towards liquidation points, basically. Inducing and then punishing somebody and grabbing their liquidation. Yesterday you said there was a video on your channel. Yeah. It's called Outsmart the Market in 2024 or something. I made it like a year ago. And it has like a AI narrative. It was when AI was just doing that narrative thing. So the uncanny valley there is real, but I wanted to just make one of those videos with the actual like British accent or whatever. But it's well produced. I spent a long time making it. I traced every single candle of a toss in Illustrator to go over a point. So I was super anal retentive about it. So you'll notice that it's kind of like weirdly perfectionist, but that's how I roll. Like if I make something like that, a tutorial needs to be like pristine. But yeah, it basically breaks down all this, like what is the bid and what is the ask and what does it mean? What does it all mean? A crash course, if you will, in footprints. Yeah, there's like another one about, what do you call it? Let me find that. There's trying to find the link to this other one. Hold up. I'll put this other one. There's this one from Atos themselves that's pretty good. Yeah, there's an Atos channel inside of the Discord that has like all the indicator or templates that I use, so you can just go with that if you like, or see what you like from there. But this one, let's go see if there's another. What is the comments from yesterday? One, two, three, four. Those are some nasty 10-minute candles. Either way, you know, it's basically like 70-point range that we're playing in. 50 points if you talk about pre-market only. So we pushed up on another 400 contracts of buy side. Any last questions for the last 10 minutes? I'll be with you guys. Looks like that grab of the 715 sell side with the recovery could be all they need to continue to sweep up those London highs. ES still has that resting liquidity at 61.35, 379 contracts up there, and 228 at 61.40. So previously the 379 held prematurely. Are they going to go up to that? Is the question. Looks like they're on their way. Wick. So there's a bunch of sweeps of the lows without following through. ES still wants to burst up. We have this basically 200 sellers on NQ here at 315 that it could turn into a slingshot to the upside. Right now it's jittering on these 100 buyers at 319 and basically 100 buyers at 319, trying to like see if they're gonna get turned into sell side here as ES is going up. So there's a little bit of divergence on ES and NQ right now. ES still going up while NQ is like waiting. But it looks like NQ is going to follow suit undeniably so if ES continues. And there's your inflection point for a slingshot. And follow through. Yep. Looks like it might. Relatively little drawdown if you took that 315 area. Pulling back a little bit. It takes a lot more to move ES. That's why NQ can like manipulate more than ES can. So while ES knows it wants to go up, but it's like in the process it's like going back and punishing people, and you get more barcoding on NQ, while ES like kind of slowly just trails itself up. That's why I use the ES like liquidity, the resting orders, because it's like much thicker and kind of telegraphs something sometimes. Coming back below 315. And that's where I would be like, either the runner would have been hit break even, or yeah, would have taken one off of that run up. But you could technically see the bottom of that candle and be like, whatever, risk management. And there's your pulling into the sellers. 312 sell side taken. Back to the volume point of control at 300. ES had a pullback as well. 2 minutes until the half-hour mark. Well, this is a very unique time to be in the market for sure. Like 2 years ago when, you know, AI was trending and everything, that was like from 15K up was just like, bleh. It was very easy to just catch a wave, and then every pullback you just wait for like a C wave, get in for a big D wave, and then it was just like very one directional, let's say. The last few days have been great. That's why I was like, yesterday was really good, and so I figured today would be choppy, so I sacrificed some evals on the altar, because that type of movement yesterday was like, it's like very clean ups and very clean downs. Like I took that short and then I took a long, and it was just like, wow, that's, yeah, today is not doing very much of that. So it's situational to the day for sure. Like you can't expect every day to be the same. So that's why I was kind of expecting things to be a little bit tricky. So I went with the evals first. And then I was just happy to get the positivity on both the funded. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to push it. I'm just trying to read it, and it's harder, let's say, because you're seeing this and then it rewards the sellers, then it comes back, and it's just like, yeah, it's not, the inflection points aren't as clean, although you are getting some that, like this one was a clean read when you saw this buyer hit, and then it went to this guy, and you could have taken that for like 30 points or something. And if you, like, there's times I've seen where you pull back into a large, it was like a big liquidity grab spike, like that 715 taken here, and you could just long just off the amount that was taken and then just expect a little bit of a bounce, and then that would have given you a fairly significant bounce. But you don't know how much of that is, and then like whether or not that's going to go down another 1,000 delta or not. Like that's kind of like catching a falling knife. But there are some delta amounts where if you just see a large delta amount hit and sell side, you could just theoretically like say that's a piece of evidence I'll take. In the templates, it's like every 100 lot is like lit up more, so I can kind of see when there's like larger amounts or whatever. Yeah, that's, sorry to hear that, corn dog, but yeah, it's the range days, the chop days, the non-trending days are the ones that are, you know, that's why it's like when I get something, I just like, I lock it down, because it's like I don't want to have like what do you call it, that tilt demon pop up where it like, you know, I could, all I gotta do is get back to this, and it's like, oh man, might as well kiss the account goodbye at that point. Just gotta be like humble and patient, and base hit here, base hit there. Don't have any expectation of anything. Just be happy when it rewards you with very little friction, you know? So the fact that it was just like a few evals friction, I'm like, that's, can't ask for better than that, really. Well, tomorrow we'll try again if we can get to 10 viewers and then 10 comments on the last video. For then we will have another drawing for eval. So you're coming back on some buyers. Pulled back into 312 sellers, and then now starting to turn them into buyers. that chopping block on ES at 61.35. 386 contract still up there, 231 at 140. Still looks to be on par to go up there. That was a little manipulation to the downside to the 300s. Touch off the volume point of control and go. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it. I got to do an arm workout and go to bed. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So have a good one. Let's try to get it to 10 tomorrow, and then we can give you another run at the evals. Catch you later. Peace.